For this project, we are going to make polar bears in oil pastels. Our two inspirational books for this unit are The Polar Bear by Jenny Desmond and Leaf by Sandra Dieckmann. Let's begin with the different steps in how to draw a polar bear. Materials needed are a lightly colored 11 by 17 construction paper or tinted paper, pencil and eraser for drawing, scissors, and oil pastels. Step 1 is drawing the shape of the bear's head and ears. You start with a flat-topped, heart-shaped face. Make sure to leave room for the ears by drawing in the center of your page. Drawing the nose and eyes is next, and to do this more accurately, you can draw a large triangle like this in the center of your bear's face. But make sure to draw this triangle light, as we need to erase it after. The two eyes will be at the top corners on each side of the triangle, and the bottom of the triangle will be where you put the nose of the bear. Also add the center line of the nose on the bottom and an arc or arch for the nose spot. Next is the nostril shape and snout. Here's a close-up of the nostrils. Basically on either side, it almost looks like two teardrops that are on the sides. When you're done drawing the curved lines for the snout, remember to erase the triangle you drew. Now let's make the snout lines to go around the nose to create the mouth and draw the lines for your mouth also. And we can also add a bearded hairy chin with a couple layers there. Okay, when drawing the eyes and the brows, let's make a few shapes around the eyes for effectiveness. Also, when you draw your eyes, make sure the inside has a nice circle and roundness. And then we're going to draw the line under the eye as well. It looks like kind of like a heavy droopy line underneath, and we will do this on both sides and repeat everything that we did on the one side for the other eye. Let's add some added layers and fur markings on the snout and around the cheeks. On both cheeks, we'll add lines, and on the top of the head, I like to make my lines kind of rough and a bit more hair-like. I do this all around the beard and the outer face edges and inside too, and even around some of the ear parts. Fill in a bit in the nose. Now we're going to add a nice thick neck. This step is really important, adding a neck. We don't want our bear to look like it's just a floating bear, so make sure to add a nice thick neck on both sides, bringing it all the way down in the paper, kind of make it look rough and kind of fur-like. Okay, now it's oil pastel time. You can use any oils for this, but you will for sure need to have a white oil pastel, a black, maybe a couple blues, and a few warm colors too, like peach and pinks. We're going to use our white oil pastel first, and it's okay that the marks on top that you made with graphite pencil are there and that you blend on top of them, and it makes a little bit of a gray. In fact, this makes the bear have like a shadow effect and adds realism to the drawing itself. So this is a really good thing. Start adding white around the snout and the eyes first, just because we want to keep the purity of some of the eye. And now it's adding black on the different parts, but just a few lines. We don't want to do it too much. And I also am very careful how much pressure I add on the nose. I don't press really hard, but I just put a few light kind of darker lines there, and then I fill in the inside of the pupil as well. For the nose, I do a little bit of black, and then I take white and I mix it so it's not pure black, but it has sort of like a dark grayish black effect. And then the inside of the nostrils are going to be the darkest part, and I want to be able to see those two parts. I also add white around the iris of the bear, and sometimes I add a little bit of white on the top of the nose too, just to show a highlight there. Now with your black, add a bit of speckling to the snout and a few shadowed marks around the bear. Don't forget to add a little bit of black mouth, the line for the black mouth. You can thicken it up a little bit. I also add and mix white to the hairs on the bear's ears with the black, so there's like a grayish look in there. And then I add white throughout the rest of the bear's body, and I try to go in the same direction that the fur would go in. I then take my blue oil pastels and add areas of interest, blending in with some of the white along the outer edges and the inner fur parts of the bear. And you can see that in the examples I have here. I add strong white highlights in the eyes. And add additional colors of flecks throughout my bear in spots with hints of pink and peach and other colors. You can really use whatever you want. These are the colors that I think really pull out nicely. I do not overdo this step though, because I still want the pureness of the bear to kind of show up, so I'm careful as to how much I'm actually adding. Sometimes you can take your pencil and add a little bit more texturing to the fur by just marking it around. You can see me doing this here. And this is how my bear looks when I'm all done. Now it's time to carefully cut around the entire bear. You will need to pick a different color construction paper background and then place it down and outline with the pencil, tracing around your entire bear. And this is an important step. We're going to put our bears off to the side and then work solely on our backgrounds before gluing our bears onto it. Now it's time to read the book Leaf and get inspiration for our backgrounds. This book Leaf was written and illustrated by artist Sandra Dieckmann. And Sandra Dieckmann is an artist, illustrator, and potter from the UK, and she's best known for her colorful pattern designs within the pages of her books. Here are some examples from this book Leaf that can inspire us in our own artwork. Now let's get started. Make sure to color your background design around and not on the traced outline spot. Your bear will not stick well with glue if there's oil pastels in that center part, so you must make sure that you're drawing around it. Now it's time to create. Use your oil pastels and even collage elements into your background. Let's check out some finished pieces that my students did for this project. So many wonderful pieces and creativity. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have fun making your own polar bears with backgrounds inspired by artist Sandra Dieckmann.